Simply brilliant! The Quidditch World Cup! Please join me in welcoming the lovely ladies of the Beauxbaton Academy of Magic! Is a unique skill.
I'm standing outside the Ollivander's wand shop for the wand picking experience, and it's one of the most fun experiences here.
Welcome to Ollivanders. And no two Ollivander wands are the same. Just as no two unicorns, dragons or phoenixes are quite the same. And of course, you should never get such good results with another wizard's wand. Here at Ollivanders, we use only the finest elements in our wands. With a unicorn hair core. There are some flowers in the corner. I'd like you to bring them down here to my desk. Wave your wand and say Descendo Flowers.
Descendo Flowers.
Do you see the ladder?
Yes.
I'd like you to bring it closer to my desk. Wave your wand and say Accio Ladder.
Accio Ladder.
That is the perfect fit. This wand has chosen you, and it is made of aspen. Perfect for a wizard who is strong-minded. Use its power wisely. Thank you for selecting Ollivanders.
So we are at this shop, Ollivander's shop, after finishing the Ollivander wand experience, and there's so many amazing collectible items over here. Acceptance letter that you can give to someone. You can write that person's name, dear that person's name, and we are pleased to inform you that you have been accepted at the Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Oh, and they have Quibbler. They have Quibbler here as well. So there are a lot of these interactive wands that you can buy, and there are a lot of places inside the theme park where you can actually use your wand and there will be some sort of magic that will happen. So it's a good thing, especially for the kids, but it's a little expensive, so I'm not getting it, and it of course doesn't work outside of this park. So it's a good souvenir to have, an actual magical wand. And everywhere they have wands of every Hogwarts witch and wizard. So of course we have Harry Potter, Dumbledore, James Potter, Draco, Professor McGonagall, Sirius Black. They have Voldemort's wand here as well. This is Voldemort's wand. I think one collectible wand is for like $75, which is quite expensive, so of course I'm not getting it. But it's good to have a look around the shop. Loving all the collectibles and souvenirs that they have. I still have like 1.5 hours left to explore the park. I'm thinking of taking the 6:30 shuttle back to my hotel, and I think I have covered the entire Hogsmeade. I've spent more than enough time at Hogsmeade, and I still haven't seen anything else in this park. But again, my idea was only to visit the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, which I think I have done it perfectly, at least on day one. But because I still have time, I'm thinking to just quickly walk around the remaining park. But I think I'll still spend some time at Hogsmeade. I just don't want to leave. It's time to say goodbye to the Hogsmeade Village and the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. But only for today. I have one more day left to experience some more magic here. And now I'm going to make my way back to the entrance. So actually the Hogsmeade is located towards the end of the park. So now I have to cross through the remaining parks and make my way to the entrance. So I'm going to quickly say goodbye to Hogsmeade and make my way back. I am inside the second park, which is the Jurassic Park, and they actually have a lot of rides in here. I have ridden one of the main rides, which is the water one in Singapore, and apart from that they also have a really crazy looking roller coaster. So they have about I think 4 to 5 rides in here. I see the next island in front of me, which is the Skull Island. Skull Island, the reign of Kong. I think King Kong. And I think they only have just this one ride. So I actually went and did the Skull Island ride, and it was a very cool 3D ride. It was not at all a scary ride. It was just 3D effects, and because I have not seen any King Kong movies, so I couldn't really relate to what they were showing. All I could see was that there were dinosaurs, and then the King Kong came, and then there were 2 other people who were fighting. But the effects, the 3D effects were amazing. And they gave us like glasses to wear, the 3D glasses. But yeah, an amazing ride. Even if you haven't seen King Kong, I think you should definitely come and check out this ride only for the effects. So I walked through the Lost Continent, and I didn't see a lot of rides there. I think they mostly had restaurants. And now I have entered the next park, which is Swiss Landing, and this is such a colorful park. Like, look at the colors behind me, and you can clearly make out that this park is mainly for the kids. I don't even know what Swiss is, honestly. Like, I'm sure there must be some cartoon character or some movie on which this theme park is based. But it looks so colorful and so vibrant, so I'm just going to walk around this park and see what all they have, and if I find something interesting, and if I'm allowed, because I'm not a kid, I might just take a ride on it. But it looks like most of it is for the kids, and they do have, if I look at the map, always keep the map with you, they do have like 5-6 rides, but then it all looks like kids ride. Like, they have merry-go-round, they have few meet and greet characters, 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish, I have no idea what that is, Cat in the Hat, so completely a kid zone. next island, which is Marvel Superhero Island, and as you can see, there are a lot of rides related to the Avengers and the superheroes, Spider-Man, Superman, lot of music as well over here. And now I have just one more park left to cover, which is Toon Lagoon. Now I'm making my way back to the entrance. I still have like 10-15 minutes before I have to go and catch the shuttle back to the hotel, and also maybe pick up some souvenirs. I haven't really bought anything. I just wanted one small souvenir from Universal Studios, but I'll have time for that tomorrow as well. And this park, the Island of Adventure, it closes at 7 p.m. Back to my hotel. I figured I'll have a lot of time tomorrow to look for souvenirs and also explore the City Walk, which is the pathway that connects Universal Studios with the Island of Adventure, because tomorrow I'm going to be at the Universal Studios and the park closes at 5 p.m. these days because of the Halloween celebrations. Very tiring day, but super exciting. One of my biggest bucket list items checked off the list. If you are coming to Orlando only to experience the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, then it can easily be done in one day, but only on a weekday. Like today was a weekday and there wasn't a lot of crowd. So for example, I was able to do the Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey twice, and I took the Hogwarts Express 3 times, and that was only possible, I guess, because it's a weekday. I would recommend that you spend 2 days here, 1 day at each park, so that you are able to appreciate the smallest magical detail of every attraction, of every shop, of every restaurant. If you just rush through the day trying to cover both the parks, then I'm sure you'll miss out on a lot of finer details. So for example, the leaky cauldron that's actually leaking, or the Marauders map where you can actually see Albus Dumbledore, Snape, Harry Potter moving around, or the crossing at the platform 9 3/4. So there are a lot of these like small details and small hidden magical experiences throughout the park that you should and you need to experience on your own. So I paid around $340 for a 2-day park-to-park ticket, and the prices are not fixed. So if you'll go to the website, you will see that the prices for different days are different depending on the demand. So because I booked on a weekday, I got it at a cheaper rate. I know $340 for 2 days is not cheap, but then Universal Studios is expensive. So of course you need to pay for the experience that you will be having here. Make sure you ask for the map at the entrance. That map will come handy when you're trying to explore the park. So this map that has all the attractions mentioned, and download the Universal Studios Florida app on your phone. That app is handy because it tells you the wait time for each attraction, for each ride, and also which are the shows happening in the next 1 hour or so. And also when I went to Three Broomsticks for having lunch, they told us to order through the app so that the wait time reduces. So yeah, that's it for today. It's been a long day and I really need to rest now and get ready for another magical experience tomorrow at the Diagon Alley in the Universal Studios. So hope you all enjoyed exploring the village of Hogsmeade with me, and if you have any feedback, do let me know in the comment section below. So see you all in the next vlog where we together will explore Diagon Alley at the Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida. So till then, take care, happy traveling, and see you all.